What is up, YouTube family? We are back at it. Welcome back to Q-UNCUT. We are about to get into a reaction video on who I believe is going to be the next president of the United States after Donald Trump in 2028. So if you're a Democrat, I'm a neutral independent. So before I start receiving all kinds of hate and backlash, I'm a neutral independent. But if you're a Democrat and you hate Republicans and you can't get with their policies and things, you might want to buckle up, because I believe this guy is going to be the president after Donald Trump. Vivek Ramaswamy. This dude is a very intelligent dude, a very charismatic dude. And the first time I saw him was on Breakfast Club. He's been on Breakfast Club twice. And I didn't know whether he was a Republican or a Democrat when he was on the show. I had been hearing about him, but when I watched the show, I didn't know. I found out he was a Republican, but he has some progressive ideals. So he's kind of like a combination, but his morals and values hold true to the Republican Party. So I understand why he's a Republican, because he's conservative in his values and religion and morals and family. But he did express some things that were a little progressive. So he's not the same as Donald Trump, but they have similarities. But everybody's been talking about this speech he just did at the RNC, and I heard it's pretty amazing. So I already felt like he was going to be the president when I saw him on the Breakfast Club. I actually wanted him to run this election. I mean, I wanted him to win this election, but everything is on Trump right now. So I understand why he had to drop out, but I was like, you're not going to be seeing the last of this guy. So now people are really starting to find out what I saw months ago. So let's get into it. For people that don't know, he's a Yale graduate and a Harvard graduate. So he's got that educational pedigree that Obama has. And when you see him, he's just got that same it factor. He's kind of like the Republican Obama. But let's check him out and see what he does. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the warm welcome. It's good to be back in Milwaukee.
He's got the smile.
This time last year, I was a candidate for U.S. president, and I'm proud to say that I achieved the impossible, which is that most of you actually know how to say my name by now. So thank you for
See?
that.
He's got the humor. He's got the smile. He's got the look. He's got the humor. He's got the education. He's got the money. Let's see what his talk game is like.
It's good to be back. We're in the middle of a national identity crisis right now. Faith, patriotism, hard work, and family have disappeared, only to be replaced by race, gender, sexuality, and climate. But we're not going to win this election just by criticizing the other side. We're going to win this by standing for our own vision of who we really are. What does it mean to be a Republican in the year 2024? What does it mean to be an American in the year 2024? It means we believe in the ideals of 1776. It means we believe in merit, that you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your...
Did you see? This is what I'm talking about. Did you see what he just did? He just addressed the extreme right patriots of America, and he addressed the Martin Luther King minorities of America in one sentence. This dude is the total package, man. And notice, he's not reading from a teleprompter. This dude's got a big brain. He's got an amazing IQ. This is coming from his heart and his mind, which is what you want from a politician. A lot of times Obama could go off script and not use a teleprompter. A lot of the times he did. But this dude right here, I don't believe he will ever need a teleprompter. This dude's IQ is so crazy. He can memorize all the talking points. They can tell him what he needs to touch on, and he could download it and be able to incorporate it with what he's really feeling inside his heart. That's pretty amazing. He can freestyle and hit all his points very charismatically. So let's see how he goes.
Contributions. It means we believe in the rule of law. And I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country.
I don't mean to keep stopping, but I was just about to say the thing that I missed in his background was he's an immigrant. His parents were legal. His parents were immigrants, but they were legal immigrants. So he can speak from not only an immigrant perspective and be able to differentiate himself between the legal immigrants and the illegal immigrants. Because most times when Democrats talk immigrants, they never differentiate between the two. And you see, they've let 13 million illegal immigrants come into the country during Biden's administration. That's a fact. But he's clearly differentiating between saying, hey, I come from immigrants, but my parents were legal immigrants. So we're going to do this the right way. And then he addresses, hold up, let's see what he says.
Cannot break the law. That is why we will seal the southern border.
There it is. He addresses the issue, the crisis, the immigration crisis at the border. So he says, day one, we're going to address immigration. And that's a hot topic right now. That's one of the major topics that a lot of people are talking about, not just amongst the Mexican and South American immigrants, but there's a lot of other immigrants that have come through there. The African immigrants, the Ukrainian immigrants from all over the world are coming through the Southern Pipeline. And also African Americans, black people in this country are interested to know what the Republicans or either party is going to do about immigration, because this is affecting their jobs. That was the whole black jobs thing that they were talking about. People are joking about it, saying, oh, he said black jobs, but if black jobs, or if your jobs are being taken as black people, then guess what? They're taking black jobs. Like, people blew that whole shit out of proportion, not understanding. He was asked a question about black people. So, of course, he's going to mention jobs that are affecting black people and the lack thereof jobs that they're having right now. People just, this climate is so crazy right now that anything anybody says, they just take it out of context. That's why I'm an independent, because I don't like being swayed either way by either party. I don't like being pressured or forced to listen to a particular side just because of my affiliation. I like to be independent and neutral and listen independently with my own free mind and make my own decision and look at the facts and look at the research.
It means the people who we elect to run the government ought to be the ones who actually run the government, not unelected bureaucrats in the deep state. These are not black ideas or white ideas. They are not even Democrat.
He just took a shot at Joe Biden and the Democrats, because the hot topic right now is Joe Biden is so incompetent. He's struggling so bad to read off a teleprompter and just get through a speech that everybody's wondering who's running the government, because he clearly cannot do this. You see how incompetent and old he really is. How are you able to negotiate with dictators and read trade agreements and make conscientious decisions on the American people if you can't even read from a teleprompter? So the question is who's running the government? Everybody's always talking about it was a conspiracy theory of the deep state and the shadow government. But now that you see Biden struggling this bad, this is what it exposes. It basically proves that there's a shadow government behind the president. We always wondered it before. But with Joe Biden being this bad off, there's clearly somebody running the government outside of him. So he took a shot right there. That was pretty slick how he did it.
Ideas or Republican ideas. They are American ideas that we fought a revolution to secure. And the man who will revive these ideals.
You see, he keeps talking about, he keeps addressing the patriots, but also saying it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing. He's addressing the whole country. He's addressing black people and white people at the same time, very eloquently.
The United States of America is your next president, the 47th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Have you ever wondered why we are paid every...
You got to understand, when it comes to politicians, right, it's very important to have the whole package. You know, a lot of these politicians, look at like a Mitt Romney, right? He just didn't have it. Hillary Clinton just didn't have it. Kamala Harris just doesn't have that it factor. There's certain people, and that's why the Democrats don't have another candidate to go against Donald Trump, because they don't have anybody else who has the it factor. Donald Trump has the it factor, right? The only person that they could have put out there right now that would have had the it factor would have been Michelle Obama. And after seeing what her husband went through for 8 years, she's probably like, hell no, I ain't doing that shit. I don't want gray hair like Obama had by the end of his term. So people wondering how the Democrats didn't have anybody. It's because they don't have anybody that has the it factor. They can't just throw any Joe Schmo out there and try to go against Donald Trump. And the sad part about it is, the good news for them is they have 4 years to try to get somebody to go against this dude. The problem is, you got to get somebody to go against this dude. You need somebody with the it factor, because this dude's got it. And that's why I said you might want to put on your seatbelt if you're a Democrat, because I see Republicans running this shit for the next 8 years, at least maybe 12, because this dude is so amazing at what he does. I can see him getting 2 terms. Republicans might be running this thing for the next 12 years.
Country, vote Trump. If you want to reignite the economy. economy in this country, vote Trump. If you want to revive national pride in this country, vote Trump.
He's not reading a
If you want to
teleprompter.
make America great again, vote
He got people chanting his
But there
speech.
is one more reason I'm going to ask you to vote Trump, and it's the most important one. It's the one the media
See how he
won't
did
talk
that?
about, but it's the truth. Donald Trump is the president who will actually unite this country, not through empty words, but through action. Because
He's
you know what?
freestyling.
Success is unifying. Excellence is unifying. That's who we are as Americans. That's who we've always been. To those of you watching this at home tonight, I'd like to deliver a message that the media doesn't want you to hear from the Republican Party.
Ooh, very important. That right there. See, he's talking to everybody, but he's talking to a lot of people that he's getting the crowd into it. Now he does the slick move and he looks right in the camera and he talks directly to you. And he's talking to the people who are on the fence. He's talking to minorities. He's talking to black people. And he's talking to Democrats that might be switching. And he's talking to the regular Republicans. This dude is good, man.
Our message to black Americans is this.
Oh, he's talking to
The
black
media
people.
has tried to convince you for decades that Republicans don't care about your communities.
Mm.
But we do.
Wow.
We want for you what we want for every American.
He
Safe
addressed it.
neighborhoods, clean streets, good jobs, a better life for your children, and a justice system that treats everyone equally, regardless of your skin color and regardless of your political beliefs.
There you go. There you go. And look at all these white people clapping for that.
Our message to every legal immigrant in this country.
This is why so many black people have switched to the Republican Party. Because for many years they've told the Democrats that you have to vote Democrat if you're black. Joe Biden said it. That was one of the biggest mistakes Joe Biden ever made. People gave him passes on all kind of racist shit that he did or said. And when he got on there and said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. A lot of people was like, what the fuck he just say? And it made people wake up and it made people think for a minute. Like, yo, they're forcing me? They think they just automatically gonna get my vote? This is crazy. And a lot of people shifted. A lot of people stopped for a minute and started thinking and looking at the other side. That was a major mistake.
Is this.
It's talking about
You're
legal
like my
immigrants.
You deserve the opportunity to secure a better life for your.
Yo, that was so dope what he just said. He said, I'm talking to the legal immigrants. He said, y'all are like my parents. Y'all are here to achieve the American dream. And look what I became. So imagine what you and your kids can become. Man, this dude crazy.
Children in America. But our message to illegal immigrants is also this. We will return you to your country of origin. Not because you're all bad people, but because you broke the law. And the United States of America was founded on the rule of law.
I was just about to say, the one thing he hasn't shown thus far that I hadn't seen was strength, toughness. Well, he just did right then. He just said, well, earlier he said, we're going to address the southern border on day one. Made a firm acclamation on that. That was, pretty tough. Now he's saying, y'all got to go. Y'all going back to your country because you're in here illegally. You got to show some toughness. And he's hitting all bases. He's covering all points and hitting all bases.
Our message to millennials, speaking as one myself, yes, it's true. Our government sold us a false bill of goods with the Iraq War and the 2008 financial crisis, loading up our national debt that falls on our generation's shoulders, telling us that if we took out college loans, we'd somehow get a head start on the American dream when it hasn't worked out that way.
Damn.
But we can't just be cynical about our country, because the United States of America is still the last best hope that we have, and we deserve a better class of politician, one who actually tells us the truth, even if it comes with some mean tweets from time to time.
He's talking about Trump. Mean tweets. This dude's got the smile. He's got the look. He got the swag.
You're going to be the generation that actually saves this country. You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative. Say you want to get married, have kids.
He just flipped the script.
Believe in God and pledge allegiance to their country.
Damn.
Because you know what? Fear has been infectious in this country.
Yo, he just called the Republicans the rebels. Bucking the system. If you're raging against the machine, if you want to stick it to the man, he's saying the Republicans are going to do that. It used to always be the other way around. The Democrats represented the minorities. Now they're saying that the Democrats are the elite and the ones running the country. So if you want to stick it to them, join the Republicans. This dude is amazing.
Courage can be contagious too. That too is what it means to be an American. And you know what? If you're at home and you disagree with everything I just said, our message to you is this. We will still defend to the death your right to say it, because that is who we are as Americans. We are the country where we can disagree like hell and still get together at the dinner table at the end.
Showing unity.
That is the America I know.
He's showing peace, unity.
We do not have to be ancient Rome. We don't have to be this nation in decline. We can still be a nation in our ascent. A nation whose best days, not in some fake politician way, but in a true way, a nation whose best days are actually still ahead of us. Still on
Now
our
he's
way to
preaching
that
hope.
city on a hill, that country where no matter who you are, or where your parents came from, or what your skin color is, or how long.
Remember, Obama's platform was talking about hope and change. That's what he's talking. He's showing, he's trying to show the people hope, faith, change. These are the key words that keeps people engaged and giving them a brighter outlook for the future. Instead of focusing on the past and the present, he's saying we still have a chance to be great in the future. Smart.
Your last name is. That you will still get
Still
ahead
got that
in this
humor.
country with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication, and that you know what, you are free to speak your mind at every step of the way.
No handouts. He's saying it takes hard work, so no handouts, but also saying you have the freedom to do as you please.
That is the American dream. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War.
He knows his
That is what
history.
still gives hope to the free world. And if we can revive that dream over group identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus, not China, is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And that is what we will revive this November when we send Donald J. Trump back to the White House. Thank you all. God bless you and your families. And may God bless our United States of America. Thank you.
This dude is pretty amazing. And now I see what the hype is about. I see what everybody's talking about. This dude gave a presidential speech. He's not even running for president. This is why Donald Trump didn't pick him to be the VP. I was hoping he would be the VP, but because he brings some democratic views or ideals to the Republican Party. He's really a hybrid, but to the core, his morals and values hold true to Republican conservatism. But yeah, this dude definitely put on a hell of a speech. It was one to remember. That's the thing. This speech right here is going to propel him for the next election. Now people know who he is and what he stands for and how they see that he's the total package. So when they see him again running for president after Trump, those white Republicans, they're going to remember this speech. People that are on the fence are going to remember this speech. And Trump didn't want him overshadowing him as the VP. I mean, how do you follow that speech if you're Trump? You can't have this dude outshining you as the VP, right? He's too big for the VP. This dude is president material, and they know that. Now, understand, see how they're prepping him for the next election? They're already priming him to replace Donald Trump because they know when he dropped out, if you listen to if you look at the stats and you hear what he said on the Breakfast Club, for the people that voted for Donald Trump, their second choice was him in the statistics and in the polls and in the votes. So he's next in line. Guarantee it. Mark it down. He will be the next president of the United States. Unless the Democrats have somebody they can pull out of their ass and go up against this dude, the only person that can beat this dude is Michelle Obama. So they might want to get on the good foot and start prepping her because I don't see anybody else in the Democratic Party. They couldn't even produce anybody except old Joe right now. They can't even replace him with anybody except Kamala. And her numbers look terrible amongst the overall people. She doesn't stand a chance against Donald Trump. So the Democratic Party, they're dropping the ball in a lot of different areas. And producing the next candidate is one of the major misses that has impacted their party. The reason they're going to lose this election is because they have nobody else other than old Joe. They've run out of options. Michelle Obama's the only one that can come and rejuvenate this thing. Maybe they got somebody waiting, but we haven't seen anybody from the Democrats that can run and beat Donald Trump. And this dude is like Donald Trump on steroids. You can't come at him the same way you come at Donald Trump. This dude is too smart. He's too intelligent. He's too rich. And he's too charismatic. So you got to have some. Y'all don't even have a candidate that can go against Trump. So how you going to have a candidate to go against this dude? Unreal. So, great speech. I understand what the hype is about, and it basically introduces and confirms everybody to what I saw months ago last year. This dude is going to be the next president of the United States. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the speech and what you think about the future of politics in this nation. Until next time, I holla 100.